living through a critical shift. We need to change our ways from burning fossil fuels.
The Michigan auto industry is working through a seismic shift, with Governor Whitmer setting a goal for complete carbon neutrality by 2050. The electric vehicle is more important now than ever before. But an industry-wide transition will not happen in an instant. The element lithium, for example, is essential in the making of EVs, but it's very difficult to source. Fox 17's Sam Landstra has the story, the first in a two-part series from the laboratories of Central Michigan University.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about lithium. The element is the lightest metal on the periodic table, and it appears in terribly tiny concentrations. In fact, 1 million pounds of bedrock typically contains only 20 pounds of lithium, but it's needed by the auto industry. And a team of researchers at CMU are trying to find a better way to find it.
Hold it like this.
Professor Mona Sirbescu is taking an X-ray of a rock.
Now you are seeing aluminum, 19%, silicon, 40%.
It's technically a mineral called spodumene and is known to contain higher concentrations of lithium.
Phosphorus, potassium, calcium.
This summer, Sirbescu and a team of students took the spodumene from northern Wisconsin.
Together we made a perfect team because I came with the experience and they came with the enthusiasm.
The 10-day research trip covered 10 square miles of land near Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
That's Iron Mountain. That's the closest bigger town.
In search of lithium-rich deposits, the team scanned the surface rock with special handheld tools, revealing the chemical composition of what lay a few millimeters beneath.
We gain knowledge, we discover things, and who is not excited about discovering new deposits of lithium? It's spectacular.
Now back in Mount Pleasant with hundreds of pounds of soil and rock samples, Sirbescu takes a closer look.
Here we have our new discovery. This is from Wisconsin.
Some are cut into slices half as thin as a human hair.
The crystals that contain lithium are much smaller here.
And others are dissolved in acid, so their chemical composition can be further studied. But no matter how these scientists slice, dissolve, or microwave these rocks, the need for new lithium deposits and more efficient ways of mining them is now.
However, we're living through a true white gold rush, if you wish, because lithium, it's a white powder. Simply, we do not have enough to satisfy the needs for lithium because of the EV industry.
If Central Michigan's method of sampling proves successful, it could be replicated on a larger commercial scale, fixing future problems in a future supply chain.
We need to change. We need to look for clean carbon solutions. I'm very excited to be part of this type of research.
Now, what about West Michigan? While the university's sampling took place in Wisconsin, I asked about it being replicated here at home. But here's the thing, the lower peninsula is covered in glacial deposits, which really don't contain lithium. But if the element were to become so rare, we could tap into something called oil brine, which we do have in West Michigan. But that is for another day. In studio, Sam Landstra, Fox 17 News.
For continuing coverage of CMU's battery-related research, tune in next week to hear about an alternative to lithium. It's part of one of the professor's attempts to power electric cars with the same material that's found in pop cans.